Thank you. Well, today marks 1 year since the U.S. Supreme Court voted to overturn Roe v. Wade, which granted the right to an abortion under the Constitution. It was a landmark decision that changed the landscape of abortion in the United States.
Yeah, and the decision being commemorated by both sides of the topic today in Central Alabama. WVTM 13's Chip Scarborough is live in Birmingham tonight, where a number of rallies have taken place since that day 1 year ago. Chip.
Jarvis and Gladys, the Hugo Black Federal Courthouse here in downtown Birmingham is the site of one of many women's rights rallies that have taken place in our area over the last year. And earlier today, another rally took place not too far from here at Birmingham's Lynn Park. The Yellowhammer Fund marked the 1 year anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade with a reproductive justice rally at Birmingham's Lynn Park on Saturday morning. The goal to make sure people are aware of the reproductive health care resources available in Alabama. The rally also served as a launching point for the group's first ever reproductive justice bus tour across the state.
We knew that there would be a lot of people who would not be able to access care out of state, who would be continuing their pregnancies, and we really just want to make sure that we're filling the gaps as much as possible.
Distributing items like diapers, pads, pregnancy tests, condoms, and emergency contraceptives.
We only had 3 clinics in the entire state to begin with.
As the Yellowhammer Fund travels across the state, a pastor from North Carolina spent the past month biking from California to South Carolina to show support for the overturning of Roe v. Wade. He stopped in Mountain Brook to share his mission.
What I'm praying is that a new boldness will come over the church, and the people of God will rise up and see this not as a political issue, not as a time to protest. That's not what we're doing. We're just creating a culture of love and life, loving on mothers who find themselves in an unplanned pregnancy and saying, rather than running to the abortion clinic, you can run to the church.
And the overturning of Roe v. Wade gave individual states the right to ban abortions if they wanted to, which Alabama did. We also want to let you know the one exception is if a mother's life is in jeopardy. Live in Birmingham tonight at the Hugo Black Federal Courthouse, Chip Scarborough, WVTM 13.